Oh my God, what is that?
What is that?
What's that?
What side?
What's that?
So have you spoke to? You said you already spoke to someone about it, right?
DJ
Or
kind
did
of
you?
gave me a little bit of info on it, but he also prefaced it by saying he wasn't involved, so to speak to like you, for example. So go for it.
Yeah. So yesterday, right, we do a laundromat. It was me, Dre, Luke, and was it Ricky?
Shlomi.
Oh no, Shalomi. The four of us did a laundromat. We didn't really like ask anyone to be on the outside route. We just sent it because we was just doing it to do it. Midway through it, there's like the whole PD are chasing us. It's like it's a maze bank or something. Like we had the whole PD on us other than Air One. Dre phones Matt to try and get him to help, and Matt basically says to Dre that he's doing a race at the time and this and that. So Dre ends up putting the phone down on him, and I say to Dre, like, is he just gonna sit there and do his race, or are we just like, is the race more important than coming to us and helping us at that time? And then in the end, he didn't come and help or anything, but we just before we didn't go to jail, like Dre phoned Kai, and Kai had like weed on him, guns on him, everything, but he just like dropped everything he was doing and just pulled up, even with all that shit on him, which anyone should do unless they're doing something that's like, I don't even know what would stop someone from pulling up. Like a race is definitely not it. You know what I mean? Like if someone's doing a race and your boys could potentially go jail and even get shot.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't disagree. I also need to have a chat with Kai, because he could have at least tossed the weed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he could have, but that just shows how
Yeah.
much he's down for it. Like,
Yeah,
he's down for the cause.
Yeah, what he done was great, but for his own sake, he should just toss the weed in the bin or something. Toss it out the window. Because if it went south and he got caught, you know, it would have been peak on him when he could have just avoided it.
Yeah.
But I don't
He could have just
disagree.
put it down.
Race isn't like just a normal race is not a valid. Like if it was like a tournament or some shit, you could say it's pretty important.
Yeah, but is a race or a tournament more important than your boy going to jail or potentially being shot down?
I could see his side more if it was, for example, the big $1 million tournament that was going on, right?
Yeah, but that's just money though, bro. Like that, money wise or tournament wise, like none of that should be important than your boy and your boys. Like chances of going jail and that, it should be I'll drop everything to go and help you. Simple as.
Yeah.
Whether it's a tournament or what. At the end of the day, it's just a tournament, bro. It's just money. Like, it's money, bro. Like, what's more important, your boys' well-being or some money? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, either way, it wasn't. It was just a normal race. So.
Yeah, it was just a normal race, and then I spoke to him after it because he didn't help at all. And then his excuse was basically saying that we didn't invite him to it. It's why he didn't pull up. Like, we didn't plan it and invite people and this and that. And I basically said to him, so because we didn't invite you on the original plan, like you'd rather go to that race and then you'd rather me get shot and go to jail. And he literally just said, yeah, like he'd rather me get shot and go to jail because I didn't invite him. And that he said him doing that race, like he's not going to go out of his way doing what he's doing to come and help. And I was like, fuming.
He said because you didn't invite him, he'd rather you go to jail and get shot than him help you.
Because I actually got shot at as well. Like we was all going jail, but I've picked a PD car.
So this is the part that I couldn't tell you about on the phone because I wasn't in that conversation. That's why I told you, like, I came in the end, so I didn't know, like, the whole conversation, but you'd have to ask Terry the conversation.
Okay.
So now you kind of know.
Yeah, because I was explaining it to him, and then he was saying that, so I just asked him directly. I said, so you'd rather us all go to jail and potentially get shot because you didn't get invited and you was doing your race? And he just said, yeah. He didn't even try and, like, say something else. He just blatantly admitted he'd rather us get shot so he could do his race. And, like, that mentality is just, I think that's the worst mentality I've ever seen in a gang member in my whole existence of being alive.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's not good. Especially the excuse that he gave me was, like, he didn't want to be rude to the racers by making them wait, and then mentioned, like, he didn't want to be rude, especially to Arnie. Like, and then right after that said he didn't want to ditch Tati either.
But all that, like, he's just bringing up
like,
more shit because he didn't mention none of that to me. Like, it's now he seems like he's said what he said that was wrong, and then now he's just like beating around the bush with shit and just saying, "Oh, Tati didn't want to leave Tati," or this and that. Like,
yeah, but even that's not a valid enough reason. Like,
it's not. It's
Tati's
definitely not.
Tati's in the gang herself too, so she should also understand the circumstances that if she gets tossed out on the side of the road and needs someone to come pick her up, then so be it. Like, it's just how it is sometimes. Like,
There's only a few things, and I mean like a few things that'd stop you from going to help your boy, and I can't even name what, but like a race or just anything in that sort is just not. It's like Dre said, if he was doing his weed shit right, and that happened, and he had to go and help his boys, yeah, but it would have meant that he's up his weed for the day, like in terms of times and growing and all this. He still would have done it because, like, at the end of the day, he's growing weed. Like, what's more important? A tree that you grow or your boy going to jail or getting shot, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the mentality should be you go and help him no matter what. Like, you drop what you're doing and you go, especially a race. Like, and his excuse was he didn't get invited. To me,
I wish Eli had that mentality with me. Fuck Eli. Him.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't spoke to Matt about it yet because I wanted to wait until you were around so I could get your both your sides of things at the same time. But I don't even think he's around right now. So.
nah, he's
I'll have
not.
to speak to him
Nah, he
afterwards.
was asleep.
I just don't get it, and that like he'll just make an excuse as he didn't get invited or it wasn't planned or something like that. But whether it's planned or not, when your boys are in need, you help them. You know what I mean?
Can I ask something too, by the way? Steve, do you know how much Matt, I'm curious on my behalf, like, do you know how much Matt has, by the way? Is he up good?
No idea.
Okay, well, he told me he was, like, up good. He was on the road to, like, making $1 million, all this shit.
Right.
And then as I was doing Sandy, he's, like, continuously calling Frank today and got money off him as a loan of $25,000 and said he was down bad, which doesn't make sense to me because he said to me like literally 2 days, maybe we'll say 3 days now, 3 days prior that he was going on to be a millionaire. So why is he borrowing money off people if he's up good? I'm confused. So I don't understand. Frank doesn't know either. Frank kind of like was like, when I told him about that, Frank was like, I think he felt some type of way about it. But you know what Frank's like, he's kind of chilled. He's like, yeah.
I just think his mentality, like as a gang member, is just not all there. Though I'm gonna be honest, like it's more for himself, and the fact that he just won't come and help over a race is just crazy to me. Because I'd go and help him. I'd drop, even if I was in $1 million tourney and I was about to win it, I'd drop it, bro. Like I literally would. I couldn't give a shit. Loyalty above all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Fair. I mean, that's what I'm saying, right? There will always be people that will stand by that more than the others or less than others. So there might be some people in the group that would say, you know, if I'm winning $1 million final, you know, I'm finishing that race first. You know, it's only jail, which not saying I agree with, right? But you could understand it a bit more than just a normal race. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It was just a normal race. Like there's zero argument on it. It's a race. There's going to be another one in 20 minutes. You know, like.
Yeah, if it was a race that you guys were doing a long time ago, I'd understand. You know, that $1 million, you know, cars on the line type shit. You know what I'm saying? Getting an LG out of it, like that would have been different. But this is just a normal race, and to come to me and say like, I didn't want to be rude. That's like what? Like,
what do you mean didn't want to be rude?
He didn't want to be rude to like the racers by making them wait.
Oh yeah, that's stupid, bro.
That's not an excuse. And then say Tati, like didn't want to like leave like her by herself type shit. Like that's not an excuse either. And then like I'll be honest, bro. Like I already told you what's happening. He's feeling some type of way about Terry. He just didn't want to come help. That's you know without sugar kill.
Why is he feeling some type of way about you, Terry?
That's the first I've heard. Did he say that too?
He said to me that he feels like you've disrespected him multiple times, and you feel like you're a full member, but you're a hang around.
Okay, so
that's another thing he's just bringing up. That's because I've not disrespected Matt at all since this. Like when he did this, I went up to him and called him a waste man and this and that because of the shit he said. Like he'd rather us get shot. Yeah. So I just told him straight.
Shit,
Other than that, I've not been disrespecting him. So that's just something else he's trying to add on to it.
All right. Well, this is the thing that Steve said in a meeting that you weren't a part of, but people need to stop Chinese whispering around us. And if they got an issue with somebody, go to Steve about it about that issue and just keep it like that. But I'm not going to lie. I don't like people, not saying that you are or anything like that. I'm just saying like how Matt's now saying all these different types of individual things and he coming up with this stuff. And then now I'm getting told off you that you never got told. Like, it just sounds like to me that bro, it's just like, I hate this Chinese whisper shit. Just be straight up with motherfuckers. Like, straight up. You got a problem with somebody? Fix it.
Okay, so, one thing I will say,
yeah.
When you're doing heist, you need to be prepared for it, right? I'm not disagreeing with the fact that Matt should have came to help, but you shouldn't be running a 4-man job without any plans on the outside. One of the reasons being the Hideout app now is if you get arrested, it's substantially, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, even if it's just ringing 2 people and saying, look, we're going to go do a laundromat. Are you going to be about if I need a pickup? And them saying, yeah, sure, let me know, or get them on the radio, right? You don't necessarily need them to be sat outside the laundromat waiting for you, right? But needs to just be careful with that, right? It's not a major thing. It just needs to be looked at. There's plenty of people around us that are willing to help. Even if the gang doesn't have 6 awake, there's plenty of pushers that would, you know, happily just push, and then if they get a call, they'll come help. Just have that lined up as a backup.
Yeah, I think we know that. It's just hard at the time, bro. Like, on my behalf, I don't know if half the, like, some people are around. Like, the day that I asked for Kyle for help, I didn't even know DJ was awake. That's why I'm starting to put in place that gang group. Oh, okay. Well, that's most probably why, but that's why I'm putting the whole, like, gang radio shit. And I'm also going to get I meant to get it today, but I've just been busy doing things, but going to get a whiteboard and shit like that so people can throw that up every time they're awake.
Yeah, I agree on that. Having people there should have people ready for it.
Yeah.
Valid. Okay. Keep that shit up, but just be a bit more prepared, because every time we get arrested, if it's up an event, what's going to happen is angels are going to overtake us, and then we're going to be selling weed for $10 less a baggie, and there's nothing we can do about it. Well, there is stuff we could do about it, but, you know, ideally we avoid having to do those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's it really, bro. Like, I just don't get his mentality, just because he's not, like, I swear he's been on every other heist anyway, so just
yeah,
we didn't invite him to this one
he gets to go on
heist.
a lot of heists, bro, like, all the time, so the fact he's thrown his dummy out of the pram like that over a laundromat is crazy, because it's a laundromat, bro. Who gives a shit? I'll have a chat with him. I'll see where his head's at, see how he approaches the situation, and go from there.
Yeah. I also heard that apparently took money out of the thing without asking anyone. And then when you tried to speak to him about it, he's basically said he's not talking to it about you and put the phone down or some shit.
Kind of, yeah. He tried to call me, but I was busy, and then because I didn't answer him, he just helped himself and then told me after the fact. And when I questioned him on it, he basically didn't want to hear it and told me he wasn't having the discussion right now and hung up. Which Sparky's already dealt with it, but I just...
Oh, he has?
Yeah. He had to pay the money back, obviously, and Sparky dealt with it, but yeah.
He needs to learn to respect the 2IC, mate, you know what I mean? Brother man Steven, bro.
Wouldn't stress it, mate, if he had been a lot better until that time where he took the money. So I wouldn't stress it. I have ideas in mind if people continue to take the piss, because sometimes I feel like people feel like I'll do nothing, and ultimately it'll come down to Sparky, which isn't the case.
Yeah.
You're a prime example of that.
At the minute, though, it's like people will see it as that, though, bro. If you're not, like, putting your foot down and just making not rash decisions, but decisions that way, just throwing your foot down. Like, at the minute, people probably will think that, bro. Like, oh, Steve's not going to, like, he'll wait for Sparky or something, you know what I mean? But if Sparky's not about, bro, you just got to do your thing, bro. You're in lead, so.
Yeah, I mean, you're a prime example of that, right? Sparky wasn't around when you were made hang around the first time.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like, I don't know, some people just don't even, didn't acknowledge it, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't stress it. It's not an easy fix for each person. That's the thing. Each person is different. Different things will affect different people differently, like different punishments. You know what I mean? But I've got ideas. Just feel like sometimes people push me to that point a lot, and people are then going to use that to push an agenda against me as well. You know, if I'm always...
can't really push it to you. Like, Sparky was the one that made you in that position, bro.
Oh yeah, so. No, I know Sparky will back me making decisions like that. I know that. Yeah. But people just seem to test me a lot more than they test Sparky, and it's frustrating sometimes, because then I'm just seen as the big angry prick that has to, you know, do this, that, and the other to people all the time, and Sparky's the favorite because he, you know what I mean, he just says something and they'll respect it. But it does get a bit frustrating.
That's how it should be with you, though.
I know.
The ones who
it is with a lot of people,
reciprocate it with Sparky, then you just need to tell them, bro.
Yeah. You know what they say, the respect is earned, not demanded. So it's a difficult one to balance too.
You've earned my respect, also. I don't know how you've not earned that, like, other people's, bro. Some people are just blindsided, though, and just think they won't have to, and then they'll just listen to Sparky, you know what I mean?
Yeah, not wrong.
It's just the worst mentality I think I've seen ever.
Yeah, it is pretty bad.
Just because he's not been invited to a job, should still out. If you're being asked to out, whether it's shitly planned or whatnot, if you're asked to go and help your boys who could potentially get shot and go to jail, then just go and help them.
It's not an isolated incident either. There's been moments like that before. Someone told me something about DJ asked him to put on the Wi-Fi or some shit for a heist, and he said no because he wasn't on the job.
Just childish shit. But I was even saying to someone yesterday, like, even though he's done that, like, if in future now, like, because we've not been really speaking that much when we've been, like, when I've seen him since it, like, if he called and said he needed help and he was being chased, like, I wouldn't stoop down to his level and go, nah, fuck that. I'd go and do it. I'd go and help him, you know what I mean? Because I'm not like a child.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that to someone that I'm in a gang with and shit who I bleed for. I'm not just going to say no. Like, I'd go and help. Even though they did it to me, I'd still go and help.